You just got wrecked.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So it's Monday, back on the grind. Welcome back to the channel. Pleasure to have you here. Hope you had a great weekend. Now, I do know the beginning of the weekend was super boring. Bitcoin essentially just going sideways days on end, right? It really was starting to get extremely boring, but we finally broke out. We got above this sort of $7,480 level right here. We got all the way up to $7,646. We have pulled back, but we did not dump. We are sitting on some support right now. So what does this mean? Well, currently Bitcoin is in fact up 4.99%, actually more than that, 7,567. So with everybody saying, okay, that was it, Bitcoin had the bounce, we're going up to 8K, 8.4K, 9K. Well, I want to talk about that realistically. Are we ready for a massive Bitcoin pump? Well, we do have a few things against us. I do want to go over that. We're going to make today's video rapid fire, so stick with me. And also, we do have a few other announcements as well. Bitwise is trying to still get their ETF approved. Bitcoin, of course, has been the best investment for the past decade, and I want to talk about one potential scam token, not Plus token, Cloud token. Looks like these guys may have just been busted, and I want to talk about how that could affect the markets. And if that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if you're not subscribed to the Crypto Zombie channel, well, you're missing out, guys. And also, every Monday is the Ledger Nano S giveaway, which is today. So if you're interested, drop a comment on any video, and we'll be giving that out at the end randomly of today's video. Now, having a look at the market, let me give this a quick refresh live. So you can see right here, Bitcoin is actually up 4.98%. So a lot of people are talking about this potential altcoin purge, altcoin apocalypse. Well, I don't know necessarily about that, but I will show you right now, if we switch this to the Bitcoin comparative, well, you will notice a lot of these altcoins are in the red in the Bitcoin comparative, essentially meaning that really you wanted to be in Bitcoin for this move. Bitcoin was really the place to be if you were looking to make those gains over that, move essentially that we had on the weekend. Now, we did have some altcoins as well, Bytecoin, Komodo, Silverway, Crypto.com, Nash, Tomo Chain, Lisk, Quant, and Luna all doing quite well today. Having a look at the volume, still really quite low, okay? So it wasn't exactly as much as I would have liked to have seen for a move like that. I would like to see more volume. That would give me a lot more confidence in the markets in a move like that. However, the one thing I did want to mention, when you do have people talking about this like potential altcoin purge of 2020, you will notice that the Bitcoin dominance has surged back up again to that sort of legacy level of 70.5%. And you can see we're sitting on that right now. And the reason that was so significant is because that's where we basically wicked out right before we had the massive run up to the $20,000 Bitcoin. So it was a very important level to keep our eyes on. And we are pushing on that right now for Bitcoin. So, I don't have to tell you guys what happened. We were going sideways. We did have that nice pump. Now, we were basically getting to the edge of this wedge. In fact, we were basically getting stomped out with lower highs. You can see we had a wick here, wick here, here. And finally, yesterday, I was actually watching it on Crypto Savvy's live stream. We broke out, but the question is, are we out of the woods just yet? Well, we did have the double bottom, right? So that was a good thing, but we are in the blue zone. However, we did not reach the $7,869 level that we had talked about had we gotten above the 7.4K level. So what's going on? Why did we stop? How come Bitcoin didn't just keep going to the top of the, to the top of the channel? Well, essentially right here, you can see we are above the 21 exponential on the daily, but on the CME futures chart, I don't have to tell you guys right here, we do have a gap. This gap was put in obviously over the weekend, and in order to close that gap, Bitcoin would have to go back down to $7,230. So the question is, are we going to be closing that gap sooner or later? Well, if we have a look at essentially what Josh Rager said, he said in his opinion, shorting 7,400 was a crowded trade. Everybody was expecting lower numbers. Everybody was expecting the price to dump. So when everyone's expecting it, it usually doesn't. However, you could see right here, he is saying that he is still looking to short a little bit higher, potentially looking for a retest down to close the gap essentially, right? So we could go all the way up to maybe 7.8K, only to fall down to 7.2 just to close the gap again, right? You can see right here, though, we are above that $7,380 level. Very good. We, we're up the heart line or whatever you want to call it of the center of the wedge. However, if we were to pump, we could go all the way up to, 8,200, even all the way up to potentially $9,000. Now, I've been saying this on my channel for quite some time. We could go up to 9K and still be held down by the resistance you could see down here that we peaked out to. So realistically, typically speaking, we still have a long way to go for Bitcoin to really be on that bullish trajectory. Essentially, I would want to get somewhere above the 9.5K level to this sort of $10,000 level blue box zone. And for me, that would be great because then essentially we would actually be putting in a short-term higher high, because if not, I mean, even where we're sitting right now, we're still not higher than this peak that we had back here, which was $7,872, and that was on November 29th. So still, technically, even with this pump, we're not putting in a higher high, right? Even short term, which is something that we really need to do. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, guys. I am going to point out one thing, having a look at the Bitcoin chart. We are sitting above the last 3 months open and close, okay? You can see the significance of this level, right? We closed here, then we opened, we dumped, then we opened again, and then we came back, but we still keep closing around the $7,520 level. Currently, Bitcoin sitting around $7,553. So the month is not over yet, but I'm sorry, guys. These are actually weekly candles. Excuse me. My apologies. I'm a little rusty, guys. I had 2 days off, so these are weekly candles. But essentially, on the weekly, I would like to get above these sort of weekly closes of around the 7,520. So obviously, it is the beginning of the week, but we would have to see how that essentially closes. Now, having a look over here, the one thing, we are still sitting well below all of the moving averages on the daily. So, I mean, I don't have to tell you guys, there's nothing really pretty to talk about in this chart. In fact, we have the 50 and the 100 both facing completely downwards. We definitely don't want this, okay? We want something like back here where we had the golden crosses, not these, death crosses, essentially right here. Now, I know what you're saying, but we did have a golden cross on the weekly. We put it in on the 100 and the 50, right? Well, essentially, here's the situation. You can see that we have put this in before, but I do want to talk about how this time the setup is different, okay? Just having a look, for example, at the EMA ribbon, you could see the last time that we had our, extremely bullish cross right here, not only was Bitcoin's price actually sitting above the actual cross itself, but we were also well above this EMA ribbon. Now, fast forward to today, we're actually sitting inside of the cross and well below the EMA ribbon on the weekly. So I really think that in order for this to really get bullish, we'd have to get above this, because you can see once we get above it, it's basically blue skies. And then once we start to fall inside of it, well, things do get a little bit difficult for Bitcoin. But hey, for everyone that was using Market Cipher, congratulations, because we did have the 2 green, kind of call them snake eyes, right? They got put in. Now, granted, if you did go in for a long right away, you would have actually had to endure, a day and a half of really sideways to potentially downward sliding prices. But if you were able to hold that position and not panic, well, that did actually turn out to be quite a profitable, potential trade. That being said, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will drop it above Market Cipher indicator. But having a look right here, guys, it's no surprise. We are still in this descending wedge. We need to break out of it. I don't care what metric, what indicator, whatever you put in front of me. The reality is we are still trending downwards. We need to break out of this minimally short term to show some real bullishness for Bitcoin. And like I said, I still want to get above this blue box territory, sort of back into the $10,000 level. And then I think that that would basically signal that Bitcoin is ready for its next major leg up in what I do believe to be the beginning of a potentially ginormous bull run. But right now we could have some more downwards action to go. However, having a look at what Crypto Michael said, green zone held for support. So we could be looking for a push to 7.8, $8,000 resistance. It is possible, but just keep in mind, we do have the CME futures gap. And I do want to talk about one other thing as well involving the scam tokens. But that being said, guys, before we move on, I do have one super quick announcement that I want to make. And that is the fact that Bybit is doing a $200 basically free giveaway if you do deposit 0.5 Bitcoin right now. Now, currently, they do have the rewards hub that they added right here. You can see there's all these different things you could do. Register, you get $5. Obviously, your first deposit, you get $50, etc. But the one thing that they are doing for the $200 deposit, that's a very special thing they're doing with certain partners. So if you are interested, guys, you do have to use the link below. Obviously, I just want to say before we move on, guys, it's been a very heated topic with the whole trading thing. No, I don't suggest everybody trade. I'm not going to every single video tell you why trading is dangerous. But if you are are a professional or you are comfortable trading and you have used this before, well, you can get an extra $200. And by the way, the other thing too is that they did add USDT wallets, so now you can switch into USDT if you want. They do also connect with 3 commas. I don't know if you guys are familiar with 3 commas. I will drop that above. I did do a tutorial on that if you want to plug your API in. But once again, guys, be safe out there. If you're an inexperienced trader, this is not for you. But if you are interested, basically net deposit of 0.5, use the link below. You will get $200 to trade on the platform, all right? But I'm not going to go into the dangers of trading today, guys. I think you guys know very well. That being said, moving on, I'm sure you saw this video with Brian Kelly, essentially talking about the $250,000 Bitcoin by 2022. Now, this was Tim Draper's prediction. Now, a bunch of them are basically saying this is completely irresponsible. No way. That's a crazy call. How could we ever get to that number? Of course, though, let's be honest. Who exactly was investing in Bitcoin at the start of Bitcoin, right? But guys, moving on, I do want to talk about one potential little blip. I don't think this one is going to be as big as the Plus token scam. Not even sure if this is fake news or not, so take this with a grain of salt. That's why I hate reporting anything that comes from Asian sources because I can't read it. But essentially, they're saying that police have cracked the first case of cloud currency platform trading virtual currency with blockchain in the city. They've captured 72 suspects. There were more than 300 victims, and it involved around $4 million. Now, this is substantially lower than the Plus token scam. So if they did have this on the market, they were to dump it, would it affect it? Not really as much, right? And also, we don't even know what's going on with it yet. Maybe they're going to end up returning it to the victims, right? So I don't really know, but if you are interested in what the heck this was all about, I do want to give a shout out to Committed Tech over here. He goes into a really great overview of essentially what it's all about. If you're interested in this scam, don't obviously get involved in it. I think it's pretty much done now, but you can check that out moving forward. But of course, before we end, we do of course have Bitwise once again pushing for a Bitcoin ETF. This time, they wrote a letter to the SEC. In it, they addressed their concerns of market manipulation, which was cited as one of the main reasons that the SEC had not been interested in approving an ETF. They say Bitcoin's inherent fungibility and the market's distributed nature allowed for effective arbitrage to take place between different trading venues, which helped insulate Bitcoin from attempts to manipulate individual markets. They also talked about the current large number of U.S. investors in the Bitcoin market. It stressed on the need for a safe and efficient market. The study that showed that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is currently the 5th largest holding in millennial retirement accounts was also cited in the letter. So yeah, guys, millennials are investing in Bitcoin. I don't know what else to tell you guys. And before we go, I got to give a shout out to John Newbury. If you guys aren't following him on Twitter, definitely check this out. I absolutely love this thread. He basically talks about, it's been the end of a decade. We got to look back at Bitcoin, all the strides, all the accomplishments. So many people say, oh, Bitcoin, it hasn't done anything in the past 10 years. Well, actually, there's a lot of achievements so far. We also have Lightning Network coming out. We also have privacy potentially coming to Bitcoin, right? We have Snowball. They're maybe going to do it on Bluetooth, right? So many different possibilities moving forward. So definitely, I will drop this below. Check this Twitter thread out if you are in the mood to feel a little bit better, a little bit bullish about things. And that being said, I do have to give away the Ledger Nano S. So we only had 5 videos last week, unfortunately. So putting in 5, we have to generate. So that is number 4. Alrighty then, so we will go to video number 4, which is Bitcoin Bounce Back. Wow, this video actually did not get a lot of views, so congratulations to anybody who actually had an opportunity to comment on that video. So here we go, let's check this out. All right, 407 unique comments for the Ledger Nano S. Drum roll, please. Timbo Slicer, great video. Well, you know what? Never said you had to say anything about the Ledger. Timbo Slicer, if you do see this video, you are in fact the winner. You know what to do. Just hit me up in the official About Me section or the Telegram. Anything else, I will never comment you or, leave you a comment in the comments. That's definitely a scammer. If you want to get a hold of me, official Telegram, email. That's it for me. Back on the grind. Enjoy your day, guys. And that is it for me. Thank you so much once again for coming back to the channel. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And that's it. So until next time, my name is K-Dub. Stay crypto, and of course, peace out.